to Eat, Drink, Sleep. This is the inaugural episode of my podcast, and we are going to be talking about the F&B industry in India, restaurants, QSRs, and you as a doyen of the industry who's been involved in all levels and is now also an observer of what's going on. Let's begin by what do your idea of where you think the F&B industry in India is, and let's premise this with the fact that the Indian worker, the Indian chef, the Indian waiter, the Indian maitre d' is also the kind of dynamo for F&B across the globe, I think.
First of all, thank you very much for having me here, Vikram, and congratulations. Wish you all the best for this podcast. May may this podcast become bigger than what is done by Joe Logan. So I think that's
Thank you.
right. So that's what we wish, hope, and pray. Right. So it's eat, drink, and sleep.
Yes.
Right? So. Very interesting question that where is it at? I think it is in terms of because what we are talking is business of food. See, food consumption has always been there. It's not less or more, right? Consumption, whether you eat wherever you eat, but how much of has business of food, and that too, food service has changed. See, business of food has been there, whether you buy fruits, is business of food or whatever. But food service business is, I think, we are at amazing time. I think I have never this kind of opportunity ever, I would say. Because what has happened is that the consumption pattern has changed quite a lot, which means that in food service business, which was out of home business earlier, that itself has changed because consumption is not only happening out of home, it is happening in home also. So food service business, the extension is in home, in office, at work, while you are traveling, because travel is increased a lot, and all that is food service business, whether it's in train, bus, aircraft, wherever. So all that is increased. So there could not have been a better time because the consumption pattern has changed. The consumption pattern has changed, and that's given quantum jump to the business. It's like if you are in habit of brushing your teeth once a day, you change that pattern to twice a day, then the consumption goes double, right? So that is what is happening. Now, having said this, it's when opportunity is there, naturally competition also increases, which means that a lot of people want to grab this opportunity, and that opportunity is not only grabbed by so-called experts in the field, anyone and every one. So there is no entry level barrier that is there. So yeah, I just want to stop here because I can go on and on, but I would structure it the way you want to ask the question.
No, you said very clearly that it's nothing is, this is an amazing time to get into the business, and I agree with you. And though our industry, and I mean, I have been reporting on F&B for such a long time, I feel that I'm in some ways part of the industry. I think we have a tendency to complain a lot about what's happening, whether we are put into too much of excise. It is considered a sin industry in many sectors, but in comparison to a lot of other industry, it is still, as you said, the easiest to get into. It still has workable margins. um, People will still eat out, even though people say there's less money in the circulation, the corporates are not coming out so much, but the industry itself is surviving and to some extent thriving. One of the most important part of this is, of course, as you have always been talking about, and everyone in the senior F&B field who I speak to talk about, is training, and the fact that, at least from the hotel side of it, which you have been part of. And I remember a common friend of ours told me that you had told him, he is now also a celebrity chef. You had told him to be a great celebrity chef, you have to be a really bad hotel chef.
No, I don't say that. You have to be. What I'm saying is, when you are trying to get out,
Mm.
then you should have the courage to get kicked out.
Out.
Otherwise, if
Yes.
you continue to be very good, they will not kick
They'll
you.
not take. Yeah, true.
So
Exactly.
that is the thing. That's an exit. So it's not
All
that
right.
you have to be good in whatever you do,
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
exit. That's the way to exit.
So with now regional food is becoming big, and I was speaking to other people, and regional food is now the big thing. It's spread all over the country and is spreading all over the world. What is happening in the field of training? Because people don't want to get into this monolith called the IHM. They get very scared. Or let's just say a different segment of people are going to get into the industry. How is that working to the detriment or to the advantage of the restaurant business, whether it is part of a hotel or as an independent restaurant business?
I think too many questions there, Become, but let me say this on the skilling front. It's something which it's challenging times. The challenging times are not because it's not for everyone. It is for bad institutes. Good institutes are still attracting
Yeah.
students. Bad institutes, because their reputation on getting good jobs for people who have spent that kind of money, they will always struggle and suffer, and rightly so. And I think you if you deserve, you get what you deserve, right? Nothing more, nothing less. So I was talking to a large private hotel management institute owner yesterday, and he said, "Oh, our intake is better than last year," and he has about 18 colleges all over India, right? And we have I run with Symbiosis School of Culinary Arts, and our numbers are all time high. So
Mm.
it's not something which is there, but I think the industry overall
Mm.
needs to reward the people who are in the industry better. That is one. That I think industry as a whole needs to do that.
Yeah.
Second, I think hotel management, what you are saying, the biggest problem over the years is that in the name it lies. Hotel management, people think it's a kind of an MBA course. Fees also is like that, but then you get
Mm.
as a waiter or at the commie 3, right? So there's a mismatch in expectation, the way it is sold, which is unfair. But if you do a 1 year, 1.5 years course, not expensive, they'll get good jobs, and it'll work. And that is something that has started to happen. People have understood it. People want to learn, and that learning, I think there would be it's time of correction in that learning, and that's happening. I would give another couple of years till that correction happens, and then you will not have this mismatch in what industry expects and what the individuals expect. I think that will get corrected. We are on path of correction currently.
So one of the things about training, as you were talking about, what I wanted to ask you is and you travel all over the world. You're looking at Indian restaurants all over the world. Brand India is something that is really expanding, and so is the job opportunities of the good people in the country. Now, there are two schools of thought. I have talked to chefs who are very talented who say, no, I want to stay in my country and I want to do something here. And then there are enough people who say, okay, let's just go. What is your view on that? And how are we going to
Okay. So,
how are we going to profit from that as an industry in India?
okay. I think first and foremost, I didn't answer your question on regional food. I agree. Regional food is, it was always there. Only thing, transportation of regional food has increased. Regional food was
Hmm.
always being consumed, but it was happening in same region. Now there's cross uh, South Indian eating North Indian eating, but geography is going to new geography. So that
And
is,
also, we've become more intelligent in how we market it. Before we used to say, "Ha, ये तो South Indian food hai." Now we say,
correct.
"Oh no, it is
So
Kannadiga,
storytelling is important.
Konganadu." Ha. Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. So that is oh, funny that you should talk about Konganadu. This is just after Chettinadu. So
Hmm.
Saundarajan used to talk about
Yeah,
Konganadu.
yeah, I know. Hmm.
Remember my dear friend. But anyway, so on chefs, the opportunities for them, they are naturally, whether it's India, overseas, opportunities will be there. I think it's a personal aspiration, ambition. Uh, see, I have two daughters. One wanted to study outside India. One said, no, I don't want to go out of India. This is, and it's not that we said that do this, we said do this. It's just their personal choice, and respect that. So I think with any profession, personal choice is something that one has to respect. I wouldn't say that it's a brain drain. As long as you are cooking Indian food and promoting Indian food anywhere in the world, I'm very happy that the Indian flag is being carried, and that's flying high. So that's important to me. But otherwise, it's a personal preference. How can we benefit from it? Good quality talent, no matter where they work, as long as they are promoting and strengthening brand India. I think Indians should be happy, and so would I be.
Do you see do you see a time when people will come from other parts of the world to learn Indian food and even work in India as chefs? Like, like we have Indian
Of
chefs
course.
yeah. Is that going to happen?
Very good question. I'm very glad that you asked this, Vikram. I think that has started to happen. I know that our flavors are such, they are distinct, they are complex. This complexity is what many foreign chefs want to understand. And that's why you're seeing a lot of pop ups being done by big chefs who are coming here. I joke about this with MasterChef Australia judges. They are seen more in India than in Australia, right?
Yeah.
I think one, it's opportunity, and two also is that they also get excited with the flavors that we have to offer, right? So it's something which is there, and I think currently I would not see that in a rush because of the arbitrage benefit that they have in most of part of on the currency side. So when they come here, businesses cannot afford that kind of salary. You will always find a better Indian chef unless
Yeah.
they are coming from places, let's say Africa, where that is there, that we can see. But otherwise, can we see Europe, North America, those kind of or APAC region? No, I don't see that happening till our currency, our economy becomes strong, and we can um, afford to keep them. Businesses can afford to keep them for Indian food. See, for international food, that is happening even today. That will continue to happen, but that's just 1 or 2% getting paid more. That we have always seen. But otherwise, for Indian food, not in a rush.
Okay. Well, they will at some point be like David Thompson is for Thai food. They will be someone like that.
Of course, they would be, but that's something he decided to go to Thailand, live there. He liked the life of that place, right? He became to him it was more important that what he saw. Would it happen? Yes, it can. And there are people. It's not that there aren't. I know Sean in Kolkata,
Yeah.
right? So it's not. There are
He
people.
has a pretty interesting Bengali modern
Correct,
menu. Yeah.
correct, correct. So there are.
It's just I think India is so much bigger.
Yes. Yeah.
And you've been at the forefront of Indian food for such a long time. And you are also, I think, to some extent responsible for the burgeoning of home chefs now in India and who have been able to monetize. What do you think of that part of the industry? What
I
do you
think
see as
fantastic.
something? Yeah,
Fantastic. I have a very dear friend who used to own one of the biggest PR agencies in this country. His wife worked the top research agency. Both of them quit and started cooking from home. And now they have built a very powerful brand. And they have 5 outlets. They started from home. They still continue to do that. So this opportunity, I think this is something in some sense, and my dad many years ago had told me this. He says, "You don't know what you are doing. The change that will come because of your effort. This is real emancipation of Indian women."
mm,
Because
mm,
they have this art and craft which is cooking, but they are not paid for it, they are not appreciated for it. But this celebration will convert into business, and they will start to see that independence, and I'm seeing that. I'm so happy. So it's now it's cool. It's not
yeah.
yeah, it's cool. So I'm very happy.
And in the on the same subject of emancipation and women working in industry, Indian workforce is very low women participation, except maybe in hospitality. And are you seeing that in restaurants as well? Are you seeing more women coming to work in the restaurants?
They, I think numbers are still appalling. It needs to change, and industry has to come forward to that. Hotels are a little better, but restaurants are still not there. I think we need to uplift the whole industries, is my view, on compliance, on hygiene, on everything. I think we need to there's a lot of work, but we'll get there, we'll get
And do you think, as an industry, what is the change you see? Because I mean, restaurants which are 20, 25 years have a very different way of working as the new guys coming in. And I also, when I go out, and I'm sure you also see it often, how people come up with concepts which are so unique that you would say, how did you even think of that? I mean, I'm not even saying in the dishes they make, but in the way they run restaurants, the kind of concepts they're putting in.
No, I think that's a big change. It's a great change, and I'm glad that it's working. Also, see, finally, it's business. It's not hobby. That you want to do something unique, and there is enough market. So market has to be given credit that they're open to it. See, if the market was not open, you can think of a concept, but so what? Right?
Mm.
Uniqueness is not the key. It's how people consume it. Right? So people have started to consume that, and that's the maturity of a market. And it's in everything. It's what we wear, what we think, how tolerant are we of things, and how are we giving things or not to the industry, to people at large. So I think one of the best things that I have seen is that, and that's the biggest change, I would say, that the whole industry, uh, the way they think and the way they contribute to each other's success. Earlier, people used to compete, but that competition was not healthy always. Now there is competition, but I can tell you that the younger generation, uh, they do it really well. They talk to each other. They share information, and the whole industry is being benefits. So let's say National Restaurant Association of India, I think they are doing fantastic job. Hotel industry also, and this is something they have. I think first the restaurant industry started. I think first the chefs started. I would say that chefs started to work together, especially chefs like me and anybody. We would make sure that everyone benefits from what we have learned. Then I think restaurant industry and now the hotel industry is following. And I think that's a brilliant sign that everyone comes up together. No one is pulling anyone down. Everyone is pulling each other up. I think that's the maturity of a society. That's the maturity of industry. So I would so if you start something, no matter if there is a journalist who has in your trade who has a podcast, he should also wish you well, and that's what that's what maturity is, right? So that's the biggest change I have seen, and I'm happy for it.
Now let's talk about what are the things you think that should change in the industry, what you're seeing.
I think industry as such, I think we need to, as I said, we need to be more responsible. I
Hmm.
think we currently the margin that is there. I think the things that compromise are not the things that should be compromised. So values are compromised. When I say values, it's the human value that's compromised.
Yeah.
It's the compliance that's environment that's compromised. I think that's something which we need to get serious. These are not just words. Sustainability is not a word. It's our life. It's our responsibility. It's not something that we can just talk and give an interview and do. No. We need to be serious about it. It's something that may not be seen by us, may not we think it may not affect us, but no short-term thinking. So no short-term thinking. I think that's critical, and I don't want to say too many things. I think we need to be more responsible. Is all I want to say towards each other, to environment, to everything around us, to our soil, to our. ev- I think that's one thing, and it's a behavioral change. It's a behavioral change. As economies tend to do better, this behavior also changes. बिकॉज खाली पेट आप कुछ नहीं कर सकते, राइट? जब पेट भरता है, देन यू कैन थिंक ऑफ चैरिटी का, तब सोच सकते हो. सो करंटली वी थिंक ऑफ दीज थिंग्स एज चैरिटी की, जब बड़े हो जाएंगे तब करेंगे, ये बड़ी कंपनी करती है. आई थिंक सो इट्स बट आई वुड I would push everyone to think like that, be more responsible, be more caring. I think we need that.
And do you see more institutional funding coming into restaurants? Before it used to be, I mean, hotel manager and restaurant industry, if you pardon me, even 30, 35 years ago when I would get into it was 50% mila, to jao hotel karo. Kuch, and I remember talking to this man who set up Gulati,
Uh,
Mr. Gulati, who said, I failed at every business that I was told ki chola bhatura becho. So he
uh,
sat around the India Gate, and that's how it started, because that was a business that would never fail,
hmm.
considered to be कि चल जाएगा. Is that changing? Is the institutional investment from abroad, which is happening in hospitality as a whole? Do you see people now looking at industry in India to set up in India, not take out of India so much?
So, see, as economy grows, it's something at what scale. Currently, if we see that earlier there was only one or two IPOs that happened in this country. Recently, we have seen TFS IPO done really well. We'll see more IPOs coming in. So money comes to businesses that do well and give good returns, right? And give exit also. So if we see more exit in this business, that's when we'll see more inflow of money. So that will happen. It's even now it's happening, but it's not a windfall. It's not something that will happen unless we start giving higher returns and better exits. I think that we are a little far from it. We're still so you will see sporadic kind of investment. It will come. See, some people would mandate is this consumer business, and in consumer business, some money will come into this. It'll happen, but not in a big way.
Okay. Okay. Sanjeev Kapoor, thank you very much for coming on Eat, Drink, Sleep. May you enjoy all three with as much gusto as you do now.
Thank you very much. Thank you.